Have you ever felt like you're working endlessly, yet barely moving closer to your goals? Imagine spending hours tackling a task, only to realize that the results aren't what you hoped for, that all your effort might have been wasted. What if I told you that the secret to achieving more isn't in working harder, but in preparing smarter? Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I would spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." Those words are not just about chopping wood. They are about life, about your choices, and about how you invest your energy. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will discover how this simple truth can transform the way you approach challenges, decisions, and your most important ambitions. And if you haven't yet, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, because the insights we share here are not fleeting. They are tools you can carry into every day of your life, helping you act with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Remember this as we begin. The strength of your results is born long before the first swing. It is forged in the quiet moments of preparation and intention. Let me speak to you plainly. Too often you rush into action, believing that motion alone will bring success. You push forward tirelessly, yet feel the weight of frustration because the results don't match your effort. I have seen this in many, and I confess, even I once charged ahead, eager to accomplish, only to realize that preparation was the true key I had overlooked. Think of the tree that must fall. Swinging without sharpening your axe is wasted strength, scattered energy, and unnecessary struggle. In your own life, your goals, your projects, or even your personal growth, the principle remains the same. Before you act, take the time to prepare your mind, your tools, and your strategy. Assess what is needed, sharpen your skills, and clarify your vision. When the moment to act arrives, your strikes will be decisive, effective, and far-reaching. Ask yourself, what have I done today to sharpen my own axe? Which skills, knowledge, or habits am I honing, so that when opportunity comes, I strike with precision instead of desperation? This is not idle patience. It is intelligent, deliberate action, and it is often the difference between frustration and fulfillment. Consider for a moment the countless tasks, decisions, and challenges you face each day. How many times have you plunged in, believing that sheer effort alone would carry you forward, only to be met with exhaustion, setbacks, or results that fell short of your expectations? The truth is, strength without direction is like swinging an axe at a tree with a dull edge. Energy is wasted, progress is slow, and frustration multiplies. This is why preparation, reflection, and focus are indispensable. Sharpening your axe is not merely about literal tools. It is about the hours you dedicate to learning, understanding, and improving yourself before the decisive moment arrives. In your relationships, are you listening and observing enough to respond wisely rather than react impulsively? In your work, are you investing time to study, plan, and build skills so that when opportunities appear, your action is confident and powerful? Each moment spent preparing compounds like invisible strokes, setting the stage for visible results. Now I want you to reflect on the quality of your preparation. Are you hurrying through the steps, skipping reflection, and ignoring practice because it feels slower than action? Understand this. Rushing often masquerades as productivity, but it is often the very thing that prevents you from achieving what you desire. True mastery requires patience and a willingness to dedicate yourself fully to the unseen work, to the quiet moments when you refine your mind, your habits, and your tools. Just as the tree does not yield to half-hearted swings, life does not reward impulsive effort. By preparing thoroughly, by sharpening your skills and clarifying your intentions, you create leverage that multiplies every action you take. You become more than busy, you become effective, strategic, and resilient. And let us not forget the power of perspective. Many of your frustrations stem from impatience, from measuring success only by immediate outcomes rather than by the foundation you are building. Even the tallest tree falls slowly under the careful rhythm of a sharp axe. There is no shortcut that bypasses wisdom, skill, and preparation. In your own journey, honor the process, respect the work that goes unseen, and trust that the time you invest now will compound into results far beyond what frantic effort alone could produce. Every deliberate choice, every focused hour, every lesson learned in advance becomes part of your edge, your sharpened axe that cuts decisively through obstacles, uncertainty, and doubt. Ask yourself now, what are the axes in your life that need sharpening? Is it patience, skill, understanding, or emotional control? Are you honing your mind, your body, your habits, and your strategy so that when the decisive moment comes, you strike with confidence instead of desperation? Life will test you, but those who have prepared quietly, persistently, and intelligently are the ones who transform opportunity into triumph. Remember, it is in the preparation, in the sharpening of your tools, that greatness begins long before the first swing is taken. Now, let us consider the choices you face each day. Life does not present itself in neat packages with clear instructions. It arrives with ambiguity, pressure, and competing demands that pull at your attention. Many rush forward, believing that action alone will produce progress. Yet without preparation, decisions are often flawed, opportunities are missed, and effort is diluted. This is why sharpening your axe, preparing your mind, your strategy, and your perspective is essential. Before acting, pause to evaluate, to prioritize what truly matters, and to identify the tools you need to succeed. In your career, this might mean learning a skill or gathering information before presenting an idea. In your personal life, it may be about understanding your emotions, your goals, and the people around you before making a commitment or confronting a challenge. Each moment you invest in preparation increases the precision, efficiency, and impact of your actions, turning what might have been wasted effort into meaningful progress. Think about your daily habits. How often do you act impulsively, assuming that speed is the measure of success, only to find yourself retracing steps, correcting mistakes, or facing unforeseen consequences? The value of preparation is invisible at first glance, but it manifests in clarity, confidence, and control. Sharpening your axe is more than planning. It is aligning your energy, your focus, and your intention so that when the time comes to act, you move decisively and with authority. Even the most challenging obstacles in life, those that feel insurmountable, yield when met with skillful, deliberate effort. I want you to see that every moment spent preparing, reflecting, and learning is not wasted time. It is an investment in your capacity to respond effectively, to navigate complexity, and to achieve results that matter. I also urge you to consider patience as a tool. In a world that glorifies speed, instant gratification, and constant motion, the discipline to prepare, to pause, and to reflect is rare, and therefore powerful. Your competitors, your challenges, and even your own doubts may push you to act prematurely, but the wise understand that deliberate preparation creates leverage. Your decisions will be smarter, your actions will be stronger, and your outcomes will be far more rewarding than if you had rushed without forethought. Ask yourself now, when faced with a difficult choice, do you pause long enough to assess, plan, and ready yourself, or do you plunge ahead, hoping that sheer force will suffice? Finally, remember this: preparation does not guarantee the absence of obstacles or failures, but it equips you to handle them with resilience and composure. The sharp axe does not cut a tree effortlessly, but it does ensure that each swing counts. In the same way, your preparation ensures that your actions are effective, that your energy is well spent, and that even setbacks become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. By investing in yourself before acting, by sharpening your skills, your mind, and your focus, you create the conditions for success, fulfillment, and personal mastery. You are not merely surviving each challenge, you are mastering the art of living with intention, precision, and power. Let us turn now to the inner work, the unseen preparation that shapes your ability to act with clarity and courage. Life will inevitably test your patience, resilience, and focus. Doubts will arise, distractions will tempt you, and fear will whisper that preparation is unnecessary, that action must come first. But consider this: the sharpest axe in the world is useless in the hands of one who is uncertain, distracted, or fearful. Your inner readiness, emotional stability, mental focus, and self-confidence is as essential as the skills and knowledge you cultivate. Take time each day to reflect, to center yourself, and to align your actions with your values. Sharpen your mind, strengthen your resolve, and nurture patience, for it is in these quiet moments that true power is forged. You cannot rush wisdom, and you cannot shortcut self-mastery. Every challenge you face becomes less daunting when you have prepared not only externally but internally. Consider how easily life pulls you in many directions. Responsibilities, ambitions, relationships, and expectations can fragment your attention, leaving you exhausted and scattered. This is why focus is indispensable. Just as a dull axe squanders effort, A distracted mind diminishes the impact of your actions. Learn to prioritize, to direct your energy where it matters most, and to cultivate the discipline to remain present and deliberate in every effort. This does not mean avoiding challenges or postponing action indefinitely. It means acting when you are ready, fully equipped with understanding, skill, and emotional balance. Ask yourself, which areas of my life demand more clarity, more patience, and more preparation? Which axes need sharpening before I can strike effectively? I also want to speak to the role of resilience in preparation. Even with careful planning, life can surprise you. The tree may be harder to fell than you imagined, circumstances may shift, and your energy may be tested. But the person who has invested in preparation, both external and internal, approaches these challenges differently. They do not panic or despair. They adjust, recalibrate, and persist. Each obstacle becomes an opportunity to apply the skills, knowledge, and emotional strength they have honed. By preparing thoughtfully, you create a margin of safety, a buffer that allows you to navigate uncertainty without losing your center. This is not theoretical, it is practical. Every hour you spend building competence, patience, and insight compounds, preparing you to act with effectiveness and poise when the critical moment arrives. And let me leave you with this reflection. Preparation is not passive. It is an active engagement with your life, your choices, and your growth. It requires humility to acknowledge that action without readiness is wasted, courage to face the slow work of self-improvement, and wisdom to value long-term results over immediate gratification. When you embrace this principle, you no longer fear challenges. You anticipate them as opportunities to apply what you have learned, to wield your sharpened axe with precision, and to create outcomes that matter. Life rewards the prepared, not the hurried. You have within you the capacity to cultivate this readiness, to sharpen every tool, skill, knowledge, patience, and focus, so that when the moment to act arrives, you move decisively, confidently, and powerfully. Now let us bring these lessons into the reality of your everyday life. Every goal you pursue, every challenge you face, and every decision you must make benefits from the same principle: preparation before action. Consider your work, your relationships, and your personal ambitions. How often do you react impulsively? Thinking speed will solve the problem, only to find yourself retracing steps, correcting mistakes, or feeling frustrated by a lack of progress. By intentionally sharpening your axe, studying, planning, reflecting, and strengthening your skills, you set the stage for effective action. The hours you spend today preparing are the foundation for the results you will enjoy tomorrow. Imagine approaching each task not with anxiety, but with the calm confidence of one who has done the work, honed their abilities, and thought through the steps before striking. In practical terms, this means cultivating habits that build competence and insight. Perhaps it is dedicating time to learn something new that enhances your career, or investing in self-reflection that improves your decision-making. Perhaps it is organizing your day to focus on high-priority actions, or engaging in emotional preparation before difficult conversations. Each of these acts is a stroke of the axe, invisible at first, but cumulatively powerful. Life rarely rewards haste or superficial effort. It favors preparation, perseverance, and intelligent focus. By internalizing this mindset, you transform ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. Your work becomes strategic, your actions intentional, and your outcomes predictable not by chance but by design. I want you to consider your long-term vision. Where do you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now? Too often, people become consumed with immediate results, overlooking the preparatory work that ensures sustainable success. Sharpening your axe is about aligning today's efforts with tomorrow's goals. Every deliberate choice, every moment of learning, every hour spent reflecting on your strategy compounds into the ability to act decisively when it matters most. Even when the challenges are complex or the outcomes uncertain, preparation ensures that you are not merely reacting, you are leading, shaping, and mastering your path forward. And finally, understand that preparation extends beyond skills and knowledge. It includes your mindset, your emotional strength, and your resilience. A sharp axe in the hands of one who is impatient, distracted, or doubtful will still falter. Cultivate calm, clarity, and confidence. Train your mind to anticipate obstacles, to recognize opportunities, and to act with precision. The more you prepare, the less chance life has to surprise you negatively, and the more you are able to transform obstacles into stepping stones. By living with this principle, you shift from being reactive to being intentional, from being overwhelmed to being composed, from being busy to being effective. Preparation, patience, and thoughtful action are not just strategies, they are the architecture of a life well lived. Ask yourself now, which axes in your life need sharpening? Which skills, habits, or mindset adjustments will allow you to strike effectively when the time comes? Remember, it is in the preparation, the unseen work, and the disciplined focus that your future strength and success are forged. You are shaping your life one deliberate stroke at a time, and the results will reflect the care, thought, and effort you invest now. As we draw this reflection to a close, remember that life's most meaningful achievements are rarely the result of hasty effort or luck. They are born from preparation, patience, and the quiet work done long before anyone witnesses the results. Every decision you make, every skill you cultivate, every moment you invest in understanding yourself and your path is part of sharpening your axe. You may not see immediate returns, but the impact is profound. When opportunity arises, you will strike with confidence, precision, and purpose. Life rewards those who prepare, those who understand that effort without strategy is wasted, and that foresight is as powerful as action. I encourage you now to take stock of your own axes. What are you readying in your life today that will empower you tomorrow? What habits, knowledge, or emotional strength are you cultivating so that when the moment comes, your action carries weight, effectiveness, and integrity? The work you do behind the scenes, studying, reflecting, practicing, and planning, is the invisible foundation upon which all success, fulfillment, and mastery are built. You are capable of more than you imagine, but only if you dedicate yourself not just to action, but to intelligent, deliberate preparation. And as you continue your journey, remember that preparation is not a task to check off. It is a mindset, a discipline, and a way of living. It will give you clarity when decisions are complex, resilience when obstacles appear, and confidence when the stakes are high. Life will test you, but those who sharpen their axes patiently and wisely find that challenges become manageable, opportunities become visible, and growth becomes inevitable. If this reflection has sparked insight, if you feel the desire to act with more strategy, focus, and intentionality in your own life, I invite you to subscribe and join this community of thoughtful, deliberate individuals. By subscribing, you are choosing to invest in your own growth, to embrace the power of preparation, and to cultivate a life where action is informed, effective, and meaningful. Like the axeman who spends hours honing his blade before striking, you too can approach life with the readiness and wisdom that guarantees your efforts will leave a lasting mark. Remember this always: success is not only measured by what you do, but by how well you prepare to do it. Sharpen your axe and the world will yield to your strength.